Across WWE, TNA, AAA, and NXT, WWE has been a full-on breakout buffet. New names, new momentum, and new stars stepping up in massive ways. This year has completely reshaped the landscape, and today we're breaking down the talents who elevated, who surprised, and who straight up blew the doors off the industry. These are the breakout stars redefining pro wrestling in 2025. With this video, we're going to start out with the women's breakout stars, and who better to start off with than the WWE Women's Champion herself, Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's 2025 has been the year she truly arrived. After months of hype and expectation, Jade kicked the door wide open with her shocking return at the Elimination Chamber in Toronto, where she made an immediate impact by finally getting a revenge on Naomi when everyone thought it might have actually been Liv Morgan. That moment reignited her aura and reminded everyone why WWE has treated her like a generational attraction from day one, showing that she has developed in ring and through character work. WWE has always had stock in Jade, and we the fans are starting now to see why. But the real milestone came later in the year when Jade stepped up to the undefeated Tiffany Stratton, ending that streak and claimed the WWE Women's title in one of the biggest statements in WWE in 2025. It wasn't just a little victory, it was the moment Jade transformed from star potential to an undeniable main event force. From headline performances to sharper character and a stronger in-ring presence, Jade Cargill's 2025 wasn't just a comeback. It was a takeover of the women's division. Speaking of the women's division, moving on to the women's world champion, Stephanie Vakur. After an impressive run in NXT, Vakur's main roster call-up could have easily been overshadowed, but instead she turned every opportunity into a statement. Within months, she captured the women's world championship, proving that her blend of technical precision, intensity, and authenticity translates perfectly on the big stage. But what really set Vakur apart this year wasn't just the gold. It was her ability to elevate everything around her. When fan interest tended to dip in some of her feuds, and when storylines weren't actually connecting, and when the IWC already had tuned out, Stephanie stepped in and made those feuds matter. Through sheer in-ring storytelling, she brought a level of credibility and emotion that pulled people right back in. She carried programs that were losing steam and turned them into major talking points for 2025. Vakur has already established herself as a major player in WWE's women's division, and the wild part, we haven't even scratched the surface of what she can really do. Her rise in 2025 wasn't luck, it was talent, timing, and star presence WWE can build an entire era around. Now, if we want to talk about timing, let's talk Tiffany Stratton. From the moment that she stepped into the spotlight, Tiffany Stratton didn't just rise through WWE's women's division, she ran it. Her championship reign became one of the most dominant stretches of the entire year, a streak of confidence, athleticism, and star power that made her feel completely untouchable every single week. What made her run special wasn't just the wins, it was how she won. Tiffany carried herself like a superstar born for the main stage, stacking up challengers with ease and performing with a polish far beyond her years. She was undefeated, unstoppable, and rewriting the power structure of the women's division. And honestly, she could still be undefeated today if not for one thing: her injury. Her setback forced a sudden halt to a reign that felt destined to keep going. She could have carried this title reign straight into WrestleMania, but we will never know. Even with the interruption, Tiffany Stratton remains one of WWE's most dominant champions of 2025, and her eventual return is poised to shake the entire division all over again. Now, enough talking about the main roster, let's talk about Sol Ruka. Coming off a major injury last year, she didn't just bounce back, she returned stronger, showcasing next level athleticism that instantly reminded fans why she's one of WWE's most unique performers. What makes Soul special is how effortlessly she hangs with the indie veterans and main roster talent alike, something you rarely see from someone this young in the system. Every match feels like a statement, every performance a reminder that she's not just keeping up, she's pushing the entire division forward. Sol Ruka has proven she's ready for the big stage in 2025, and she's only getting started. 2026 is going to be a massive year for Sol Ruka. Guys, before we move on to the men's breakout stars of the year, please don't forget to subscribe to the Straight Shoot Unfiltered newsletter. The link is in the description below, and a comment and a like on this video helps the channel grow daily. We are putting out daily videos for December of the best and brightest of 2025. We've covered the women, now let's talk about the guys. Javon Evans has had the kind of year most wrestlers only dream about. And honestly, we could make a whole video just breaking down his top matches alone. Everywhere he's gone in 2025, whether it be WWE main roster, TNA, AAA, or NXT, Javon has delivered nothing but bangers. Big spots, big moments, big energy. Everything he touches becomes memorable. And if you need proof on how good he really is, Swerve Strickland literally went out on Chris Van Vliet's podcast and said Javon Evans is a better wrestler. That's not just praise. That's validation from one of the best in the business. From crazy high-risk sequences and strong promos, from championship matches to debuting on the main roster at Madison Square Gardens, Javon has shown he's not just rising, he's exploding onto the scene. And it's crazy. People say Bron Breaker is the future. And don't get me wrong, he is. But Javon Evans, he's right behind him. Big Bronson Reed is one of the biggest surprises of 2025, and I mean that in the best possible way. Coming into the new year after that brutal injury in War Games, I honestly didn't expect to be talking much about him. I felt like he might end up as another big powerhouse lost in the shuffle once he returned. And I'll admit it, I was dead wrong. Bronson joining the Vision alongside Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman has transformed him into something terrifying. He's not just a big man anymore, he's a fully weaponized force, more dangerous, more confident, and finally presented like the world title level threat fans have kind of hoped he'd become. And you know a star is being made when the entire arena loses its breath the second he climbs the top ropes for a tsunami. The reaction alone tells you he has a level of presence most big men never reach. Bronson Reed is world championship material, no question about it, and 2026 looks packed with major opportunities. His rise this year has been one of WWE's most unexpected and honestly rewarding stories. Let's take a step away from the main roster and let's talk about TNA's Mike Santana. Long known as a career tag team wrestler, Santana stepped into 2025 with something to prove, and he delivered in every way. Breaking out as a singles competitor, he didn't just reinvent himself, he became the face of TNA. His work rate, the intensity, and the passion he showed fans is exactly why he's always been destined for more. Santana's performances this year have positioned him as one of the most respected names outside the WWE walls. The bridge between the two companies has only amplified his rise. With momentum like this, 2026 feels like the year he gets rewarded, possibly with a big Royal Rumble moment or maybe even a run with a major title in either NXT or somehow on the WWE main roster. He proved he can stand alone. Now he's showing he belongs on wrestling's biggest stage. Let's talk about Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu's 2025 might be the strangest roller coaster of the entire year. But make no mistake, the werewolf is far from done. The year started red hot. Jacob came in looking like a can't miss superstar. Violence, explosiveness, and he was felt destined to tear through WWE. But then everything cooled to a point where fans were joking about putting up missing persons posters, wondering where Jacob Fatu had gone. Rumors of backstage tension and travel issues didn't help. For a minute, it genuinely looked like 2025 was slipping away from him. But here's the truth. Every single time Jacob was booked correctly, he shined. Even his match with Solo Sikoa at SummerSlam, about that was not exactly memorable, still highlighted what Jacob brings to the table. His presence and physicality, undeniable aura, you can't teach any of that. And throughout all the chaos, Jacob remained professional. A lot of wrestlers would crumble under that kind of pressure with a stop-start year like Jacob had, but he really didn't. Now he's on the shelf with an injury, but when he comes back, the werewolf's going to be hunting. And he's coming for everything. Jacob Fatu for WWE Champion in 2026. And the last person I'm going to talk about in this video, Bron Breaker's rise in 2025 hasn't just lived up to the hype, it's blown past it. Coming out of WrestleMania, Bron joined the Vision and was placed under the guidance of Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, instantly positioning him as WWE's next generational project. But in true Bron Breaker fashion, he didn't want to wait till he was handed anything. Just a few short months later, he delivered one of the most shocking turns of the entire year, betraying Seth Rollins and stepping out on his own with Paul Heyman and Big Bronson Reed. That moment kicked off a run that turned from the future of WWE into the guy is right now. His momentum only grew with each week, and then came the promo heard around the world. Bron Breakker stood in the middle of the ring and delivered a final boss level verbal assault that officially announced his arrival as a main event presence. Confidence, aggression, complete star aura, everything WWE has been searching for in the next top star, Bron is already showing. He ended 2024 on a high, but 2025, Bron Breakker might have had the best year of anyone in WWE. The future isn't coming, it's already here. And his name is Bron Breakker. 2025 wasn't just a good year, it was a year that reshaped the future of pro wrestling and especially WWE. But now the real question becomes, who's next? Who will be the breakout star of 2026? Will it be somebody already on the list who takes the final leap into stardom? Will someone from NXT or TNA explode onto the main roster? Or will a completely new face come out of nowhere and steal the spotlight? Let me know your picks in the comments, because if 2025 taught us anything, it's that the next big star can rise when you least expect it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with your fellow wrestling fans. This is Straight Shoot, this is MrTeshk, and like always, be good people.